Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of tonight's RWL Rage in San Antonio. Don Hickson, Christy Ogilvie, and Myron Schimmelman here with 4 more big matches coming up, including the Women's World Championship on the line as Dynamite Jeannie Parker defends her title against Piper Niven.
Piper Niven, Babs Beckwith, and Chyna were the final 3, and Piper outlasted them all, so nobody can say she didn't earn the spot. Really looking forward to that match a little later on tonight.
Alright, let's begin the second hour with a good old-fashioned no-rules matchup involving ECW original The Sandman and, of course, the legendary king of the hardcore world, Terry Funk.
Welcome back, fans. Our second half opening, no rules match, is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing 240 pounds, the Sandman.
What a generational hardcore battle we are in for to start off the second half tonight, as that kendo stick swinging, beer swilling Sandman, ECW pioneer of the 1990s. Whoa, look at this. Getting himself psyched up for this matchup. And already bleeding by the look of it. Self-inflicted, but nonetheless, Terry Funk may very well find himself with his hands full in this particular matchup against this particular opponent.
I was banking on that. I figured, like you said, it's a generational battle. Terry Funk, well, he goes back to the 1970s. Sandman's from the 1990s. I thought it would be a really good no-rules match.
Terry Funk is the current Dallas-Fort Worth Wrestling Hardcore Champion. And while that title isn't at stake here, his status as a hardcore champion is just that much more solidified. And obviously, he's got tons more experience than the Sandman. That's not gonna mean much against Sandman, who just doesn't quit no matter how battered he might get. I think these two are gonna wear each other out, and it's probably not gonna be pretty.
That's exactly what I was banking on. I mean, if you're going to have a no-rules match, well, there's got to be violence.
And violence there shall most assuredly be, given the 2 contestants in this no-rules matchup. Would you get a look at the Sandman? Already bleeding from that wound on his forehead that he opened up himself with that beer can. Another factor in this matchup is the fans, who are evenly split down the middle. They all love the Sandman and they all love Terry Funk. No way of knowing which of these two is going to wind up getting his hand raised at the end of this one.
And to think, Don, this is just the start. This is only the beginning. We've still got Macho Man Randy Savage in the main event. We've got Dynamite Jeannie Parker defending the women's world title against Piper Niven. It's going to be a terrific second hour of tonight's Rage.
And his opponent, from the Double Cross Ranch in Amarillo, Texas, weighing 235 pounds, the hardcore legend, Terry Funk.
Terry Funk's hardcore matches, both here and abroad, are the stuff of wrestling history. Of course, Terry Funk of the Funk Dynasty, Dory Funk Sr., Dory Funk Jr., Terry Funk, all of them well established and great competitors. Terry Funk, just looking at him, he reminds me of Stone Cold Steve Austin. In fact, he might have been Stone Cold Steve Austin before Stone Cold Steve Austin was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's an interesting theory. They do look kind of the same. Imagine them as a tag team together. That would be wild, wouldn't it?
Wow, make it happen, Myron, because I'd pay real money to see those two as a tag team. Maybe one day, right?
We'll have to see, Christy. We'll have to see.
Regardless of the outcome, this is going to be an intense no-rules matchup between the Sandman and the Funker. Referee Willie Johnson sounds the bell, and here we go. They lock it up, collar and elbow. Funker whips the Sandman to the far left corner, delivers a knee to the midsection, putting his boot right to the throat of the Sandman. Terry Funk in control from the early goings here. The Funker locks in a heel hook stretch on the Sandman. And boy, listen to this crowd, will you? The Funker turning the Sandman over again. Uh-oh. Oh, leg snap. The Sandman in trouble right away as the Funker goes right for the throat, literally. Terry Funk locks it up with the Sandman. The Sandman getting the upper hand here, front cradle. Slams Funker into the turnbuckle and tosses him out center ring. The Sandman beating the head of Terry Funk against the canvas. And just like that, the Sandman has turned this one around, knuckles to the temple of Terry Funk. The Sandman going for a sleeper hold. Mind you, they haven't picked up a single weapon yet. Terry Funk counters with a jawbreaker, backing the Sandman off. Funker locks him up, whips him to the rope. Oof! Kitchen sink knee to the midsection and going for a quick pin. 1, 2. An early near fall for the Sandman. The Funker with a chop across the chest. Terry Funk with a scoop slam. Funker making his way to the outside. No doubt going to go under the ring looking for something extra. And there it is. The Sandman trying to preempt him. Disarms him from the steel chair. Drop toe hold on the floor outside. Face first into the floor goes Terry Funk. The Sandman locks it up with the Funker, gets him back inside the ring, and gets that chair that the Funker was going to use on him. A chop across the chest. The Sandman quickly disarmed by Terry Funk. Spinning neckbreaker to the Sandman. Another quick pin attempt. 1. Only a 1 that time. The Sandman making his way to the standing position. A chop right across the face from Terry Funk. Sandman whipped to the ropes. Funker ducks under, an elbow right to the face of the Sandman. A driving knee right into the head of the Sandman. Terry Funk retaliating with a sleeper hold of his own. The Sandman equally countering with a jawbreaker. Separating himself from Terry Funk. He locks up the Funker, whips him to the ropes. And a back body drop by the Sandman to Terry Funk. Funker gathered up again. Hard kick to the midsection from Terry Funk. Locks up the Sandman. Sandman quick with the counter and a kick to the midsection of Terry Funk. The Funker gathered up in the front cradle again and hung up off the top rope. The Sandman rounds him up, spins him around with a hard right, goes behind on him, and back suplex. The Sandman gathering up that chair again, setting himself up a little construction project in the corner, but Terry Funk takes him down quickly with a clothesline. As the Funker goes under the apron and comes back with a trash can. Holy old hell. Oh! Terry Funk apparently done playing games here. A hard shot. Takes the Sandman off the top turnbuckle and out onto the floor. Terry Funk urging him to get back inside the ring. The Sandman, he obliges. Terry Funk whips him to the ropes. Ducks under. Here he comes. Another elbow right to the face of the Sandman as the Funker goes for another pin. 1, 2. And yet another near fall in this rather intense no rules environment. Terry Funk gets a hold of the Sandman, but the Sandman countering with elbows to the midsection. And again, the Sandman going for a sleeper hold. But again, Terry Funk separates himself from the Sandman with a jawbreaker, a hard jab, an elbow to the shoulder. The Sandman on the receiving end of the business here as Terry Funk delivers a hard right hand. A no-nonsense hard right hand from Terry Funk. Funk with a double leg snap on the Sandman. And the Sandman is reeling as Terry Funk grabs up that trash can one more time. Oh! Right across the leg that he just damaged. And he's going to keep trying to damage it. Another double leg snap from Terry Funk. The Funker raining hard right hands on the head of the Sandman. The Sandman rounded up again. Kick to the midsection from Terry Funk. He sets up the neckbreaker and nails it. And the Sandman busted open already and in big trouble. Texas Cloverleaf from Terry Funk. Referee Willie Johnson checking the Sandman here, but Funker releasing the hold, indicating to the fans that he is in control of things right now. And he most certainly is. Terry Funk takes himself back to the outside, goes back under the apron, and comes up, oh my, with a sledgehammer. Terry Funk about to do some serious damage here. The Sandman stands up, catches it, catches that full sledgehammer to the midsection. The Sandman disarms him, and biting the face of Terry Funk. A hard shot to the back. Funker good to the ropes. The Sandman takes him down with an elbow, rounds up that sledgehammer, and starts to unload on Terry Funk. There's another shot, and a third, and a fourth. The Sandman quickly disarmed by Terry Funk, a running DDT right on the top of his head. Funker drives another knee into the head of the Sandman. Funker with a fist drop. And again, the momentum has shifted here in this no-rules matchup, as it will in a no-rules match. Terry Funk sets him up. He's got him by the belt loops. Terry Funk with a vertical suplex from the Sandman. Terry Funk gathers up that chair from the corner, decides he doesn't need it, charges, but the Sandman quickly counters. He might have wanted to go for that chair shot instead. Funker whipped to the ropes. Sandman ducks under. Here comes the Funker. Leapfrog from the Sandman and an elbow takes Terry Funk down to the mat. Again, the Sandman beating the head of Terry Funk against the canvas. The Sandman with knuckles to the side of the temple of Terry Funk. This match, very intense. Terry Funk now on the receiving end here as the Sandman stamps the hands and fingers of the Funker. You cannot wield a sledgehammer if your hands are in pain. Again, the Sandman repeats the move, just stamping the hands and fingers of the Funker. This is, he's just going nuts. The Sandman gathers up the Funker. Hard shot to the midsection as the blood really begins to pour. Funker whipped over the top rope and out onto the floor. The Sandman steps out, steps back in. He forgot his sledgehammer, apparently. Terry Funk on the outside as the Sandman slowly approaches with that sledgehammer in hand. Another shot to the midsection. Funker quickly back up on his feet, locks it up with the Sandman. The Sandman gets the upper hand on him, gets a hold of the trunks, sets up the vertical suplex and nails it, possibly hurting himself in the process. Both these men already worn out after several minutes, literally beating the tar out of one another. The Sandman with a hard left drops Terry Funk. The Funker counters with both boots to the chest, quickly stands himself up, gets a hold on the Sandman, and hurls him towards the timekeeper's area. Terry Funk, one more time, shifting the momentum here as he gets a hold of the Sandman. Another hard right hand on the outside. No referees count, and no rules matchup. They can just go whatever, as far as they want. There's another neckbreaker from Terry Funk. The Sandman on the receiving end here as Funker delivers a kick to the leg. Terry Funk making his way underneath the ring one more time and comes up with a table. This could be very bad news for the Sandman. The Sandman charges, misses his attack. Funker quickly back in the ring. The Sandman right after him. Drop kick. Terry Funk hitting his head on that table. Sandman moves in on the Funker. A hard right hand takes Terry Funk down again. The Sandman with a hold on the Funker. Another hard right hand over that table. Terry Funk being set up here for a pile driver. Oh! And he caught all of it. The Sandman quickly going for a cover here. 1, 2. But again, yet another near fall. In this rather intense no-rules matchup. The Sandman, one more time, setting up that project in the corners. Funker catches a running bulldog face first into that table. Sandman gathers up the Funker one more time. And there's a running bulldog to Terry Funk. Funker using the ropes to get himself back to a standing position. The Sandman rounds up the trash can. Oh! Head first. Pitches that trash can right to the skull of Terry Funk. The Sandman countered by Funker with an enziguri. Terry Funk drops the leg on the arm of the Sandman. And one more time, the momentum has shifted here as Funk rounds up that table. The Sandman quickly disengaging him from it. A stomp to the head of Terry Funk. The Sandman indicating it might be time to wrap this one up. Terry Funk catches a stomp to the head. The Sandman covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and that is the end. The Sandman amazingly defeating Terry Funk in this no-rules match.
Here's the time, 12 minutes and 44 seconds. Your winner, the Sandman.
The Sandman bleeding from various lacerations administered to him by Terry Funk, but nonetheless the Sandman with a shock ending here, picking up the win over the hardcore legend Terry Funk. In this no-rules matchup, man, the Sandman, he certainly took a beating in this matchup.
I gotta admit, I'm surprised. I thought Terry Funk was gonna win this one. But, like we said, the Sandman, very, very tough individual.
He most certainly is, and he gave Terry Funk a difficult time. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll return with more RWO Rage right after this.